Hello, and welcome to Real Talk Realtor Mama Edition. My name is Samantha. I'm a top real estate agent, entrepreneur, and proud mama of two, here to keep it real about life, business, and everything in between. This is the podcast where we explore challenges and blessings of balancing a thriving career, motherhood, and mental health, all while sharing tips, lessons, and stories to inspire and empower you. Some episodes, I'm joined by incredible guests, experts in finance, motivation, small business owners, and more to bring you insights that'll spark growth and ignite your potential. Sometimes it'll just be me and my strong opinions rambling away. But most importantly, I'm doing this for my own healing and learning and as my way of giving back. If my words or the stories shared here help even one person, then it's worth it to me. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's dive into today's Real Talk. Hello. Welcome to episode 4. I'm here today with, you guys know who I am. I was going to introduce myself, but you guys know me. Joining me today is fellow realtor with EXP and team leader, Smay son. I met Smay a couple years ago when I joined EXP, and he was like, I was like, this kid is like 10 years old. And he's killing it. He's not really 10. He's actually 23, and he's been licensed since he was 19. And unlike myself, who I kind of just like stumbled upon real estate, Smay knew early on that this was going to be his career and what he wanted to do. He got started right out of high school, which is honestly, I personally think probably one of the best decisions that he could have made. He's a top real estate agent now, and I just find him extremely courageous, super inspiring. I have a couple of interns that I'm working with right now who are in college and interested in real estate, and I'm telling them the earlier you get into this industry, the better. So I thought it would be great to have Smay on today. We're going to talk a little bit about his journey, what he really feels is required to truly succeed in this industry. So let's take it away. Let's welcome Smay, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, first, thank you for having me. Those are some very kind words. So my name's Smay. I'm a real estate agent, team leader with the EXP Realty here in PA. Personally, we met when I think it was when around maybe I was like 2021.
Yeah, you weren't even.
I was making street too. Yes,
remember that?
Yes.
I'm like, you can't even go to the bar.
Yep. And you're like, I was like, yeah, no, I'm 20.
Yeah.
And I had just joined EXP too, because when I was first a real estate agent, I was 19, just turned 19. I had started my real estate course when I was 18, straight out of high school. And then when I joined real estate as a realtor, I was with Long & Foster.
Oh, okay.
Out in Haverford.
Mm-hmm.
And then a year passed, trained there, closed a few deals there. And then I joined EXP in 2022, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I met you.
Yeah. What made you make that transition? Just curious, from Long & Foster to EXP.
I think I was growing out of it. It was atmospheric wise. And I felt like I was on the precipice of feeling like I was going to close more deals, because I just felt it, like where I was in my business after a year, knowing what I knew, knowing what I can make at another company, the fees that were being charged at a brick and mortar company, unlike at EXP. So then knowing that, I was like, okay, if I'm going to close, I only closed $1 million my first year. And I saw how much money that's taking.
Still amazing for your first year.
Well, first 6 months where it's quiet.
So, yeah.
That is in the second 6 months of the year.
My first settlement, I think I was 6 months in. And then right after that, I had like 2 more. Because once that ball gets rolling, it's rolling.
Correct.
So, yeah. But that's amazing for your first year, because first of all, a little recap from my first episode, some statistics. 75% of agents leave the industry in the first year, and 85% don't make it beyond 5 years. So it's just crazy. And we talked a little bit about on my episode with Fallon that we just feel like the bar is set too low to become a real estate agent, which leads to that high failure rate. Many agents practice in real estate, and I didn't realize this until I got into the industry, aren't great. And they So anyway, let's just leave it there. They're not great.
Oh, I agree.
And I think that's part of the reason too. Like after, like you said, you were in, I was in for like a year and I was like, oh, this, I know a lot. I'm doing pretty good. I started to get the hang of it. And then I started to like, I think my second year want to help other agents do it the right way and learn the right way. And because I'm like, the industry just needs to be better as a whole. So yeah, that was one of the hardest and most unexpected challenges, I think, for me getting into the industry. I thought everybody was going to be great, but they aren't.
Yeah, especially where the agent work representing one side and the other side, agent, the realtor on the other side, isn't communicating well.
You got to do everybody's job.
You have to do everyone's job.
Makes it that much harder.
Yeah.
So let's get started. I have some questions for you, and we talked a little bit about when you got into real estate. When did you know this is what you wanted to do, and what kind of led you into the industry?
That's the big question for when I was 18. What am I going to do? Why do I want to be in real estate? I attended a real estate investor seminar, one of those big ones that they try to recruit you at the end of 3 days to buy like a $50,000 course.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. Honestly, I didn't have any money, but there was a 3 free day course of, going there and learning how to wholesale, how to fix and flip, the BRRRR strategy, buy and hold, benefits of holding real estate, capital gains, tax savings.
All the stuff that they should be teaching in high school and stuff.
Yeah. I'm a senior in high school. I'm like, I didn't learn not one thing.
And it's intriguing.
Yeah. And I'm getting all of this for free within 3 days. I'm like, why do I have to go to college? Right. And I didn't want to go to college. But I actually ended up going to college for 1 semester.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped out. As soon as I had gotten fully licensed as a real estate agent, I dropped out.
Why did you go and what did you go for?
I went for business. And literally why I dropped out was because the first semester, I wasted hours doing research papers or homework on how to be professional. It was a whole 3-hour class or whatever of just how to be professional. And I was like, what do you mean? I don't need to be taught.
Let's do it.
Like how to speak to someone, what words to use, what not to say. Like I was in the comments. Yeah, I was working at.
But it's like for so many people,
it's common sense if you just have a job.
Yeah.
Like how do you speak to your boss, your managers? How do you speak to customers?
Did you work while you were in high school, like at a retail store or something?
Yeah, it started. I guess we're going back, past 18, but I was in the restaurant business for most of my high school career.
Okay.
I would work or go to school. And then after school, take the train to downtown to work. And then, maybe some days it would last up until like midnight and then go home, blah, blah, blah. And then
go to school.
Yeah, exactly. So I always had the
work ethic. Yeah.
I was always working. And the restaurant business, I think, kickstarted the sales, I guess you're saying customer service based sales. So how you talk to someone. If they make a mistake, even if someone drops a plate at a restaurant, you pick it up, you clean it, you say, it's okay. Just like in real estate, your buyer, your seller does something stupid, you're going to fix it, right? Mm-hmm. It's okay. And I think that's what's carried me and made me done well. But to answer your question, real estate seminar, and then going into jumping out of college, doing it full time. I wanted to be an investor at first.
Okay.
From the investing seminar.
Right.
And I was like, well, I need money. I need to make money to invest.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, let me learn and make money by being an agent.
Yep.
And the craziest thing is I did not care about sales. I wasn't in the business to make commission. But one thing led to another, and I found myself enjoying the process, learning about the business, learning about investing, and also helping people. My first client, I think, changed my career because the moment, if they're first-time home buyers, immigrants from Vietnam, and the moment on closing day, after months of looking for a property, the smile on their face when they got their keys and walked through the door, that I think changed my perspective on I'm actually helping someone and changing their life. Yeah. Because a part of that process too, that's a part of their memories, memory. And, those same clients have referred me millions of dollars worth of business.
That's amazing. And I think that getting into, most people get into real estate. It's cool. It's entrepreneurial. I can't say that word. You make good money. You want to learn the business. But when you start to realize it's really about people and it's really about that relationship building aspect of it, and you really should and have to care about people, then it becomes so much more. It's so much more rewarding. You're changing lives, whether it's a happy moment or whether it's a sale and it's a distressed sale, you're helping somebody in one way or another. So no, I love that. So I guess going back a little bit more, because I think so for any young listeners right now or any of my college students, get a job as soon as you can. Like my first job, as soon as I could get my working papers, I started working at CVS. It's right down the street from my high school. I could walk there after school, and every day I just went and go learn to work. So you learn so much,
Right.
especially I think at that age, like a teenager, because teenagers are assholes.
Yeah.
And when you just it creates that structure, it shows you like what customer service is like. I think I worked at CVS for a little bit, and then I got a job at Wawa when I was like 16, and I worked there for 7 years.
Mhm.
And that shaped me.
Yeah.
Like honestly, and I never, like, looking back, like who would have thought like making hoagies and like doing like cash, but you learn how to build relationships, you learn how to talk to people, you learn how to fix problems. And I feel like for a kid that doesn't have that experience in working in retail or restaurant or something before they graduate high school, they get out of high school and it's just like, it's like a whole new world. I feel like that's a really good starting point and foundation. And one of the reasons why I started working young was I was raised by a single mother. We didn't have money, and I was 16. Everybody had nice clothes, and I wanted to have nice clothes too. So I had to get that shit for myself.
Yeah.
So a little bit about your backstory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. And,
Yeah.
I think it's something we can relate on. So my parents, I think it's, I don't know if it's first gen immigrant, but I came to America when I was 5.
Okay.
My parents sold everything in Vietnam, sold their cows. We were on a farm. We were farmers. We got sponsored by our uncle here in America.
Wow.
And they sold everything to buy plane tickets. My mom told me that we came to America with like very little money. Like on the flight, they sell things on the plane and airports. And I remember my mom told me this, and I'll always remember it to the day I die. Is me and my brother, he was 10, or he's 15, I was 5 at the time. And we were hungry, and we just wanted like the bread they were selling because they came by, right? And we only had enough money for 2. And 2 of it was for me and my brother, and my mom and dad didn't get it.
Yeah.
And that for me just shows like we literally had no money.
Yeah.
Like, coming to America, we had to live with our uncle until we could get a place. And I just remember growing up like having no. It was
but it was normal for you. Like,
yeah. It was. I never had anything to compare it to.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's just life for me. But looking back and getting to meet wealthy people, getting to see how other people grew up, how other children grew up. Like my girlfriend, how she grew up, completely different life. Like she grew up in a wealthy middle class family in Vietnam. She immigrated here too, but completely different lifestyle. Yeah, of what you eat, what clothes you wear, what things you do on your free time. So I watched my parents from I guess 5 years old into to the time I got my own job when I was 15. They worked every single day. Yeah, my mom worked 7 days a week. My dad, for most of my life, I would say I never saw my dad on the weekdays. I would only see him on the weekends because his work schedule was during the night. Right. And I would wake up, go to school, go to
miss each other.
Exactly. And so that was the norm for me. I feel like that might be like sounds sad to people, but I feel like to me that was just life and the sacrifice that they put in for me to go to school, for me to have clothes and food. And mind you, looking back, it wasn't great food. It wasn't like organic food. It was the lowest
you got.
Yeah, whatever. And so with not having anything and always watching them work, I want to preface this story also with to people who are listening. They own 3 properties.
Do they?
And they're doing very well.
That's amazing.
So
literally built it from the ground up. Came here with nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're landlords now. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So watching them work every single day growing up, like for me, and then going to work at restaurants, learning the work ethic as well, seeing how hard it is per hour, what money's worth per hour, right? Value, like you get like an allowance, maybe like, let's say to buy something to eat that day. You don't really put the value as a kid or a teenager, how much that money is.
Yeah.
Like ask for money to go to a concert or something. You don't know how much time that your parents put into getting that money.
Right.
Especially if they're hourly salaried, mom and dad that are on 9 to 5 jobs. So when I started working at an ice cream shop at like 15, I was like, oh shit. I was like $8 an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, I just spent $4. That's 30 minutes of my life. Right there. And so learning the value of money and the work ethic. And then I went on to work at really tough restaurants. Like it was hard.
Yeah.
I met like celebrities working at restaurants.
Yeah.
And a lot of these restaurants were tough. And
it's not an easy industry.
Absolutely not. It's super stressful. Like you're always on your feet. You don't even get to sit down.
I used to work at restaurants too. Like, well, I worked at Wawa the whole time, but I always had like a job on the side. Like I always had like 2 or 3 jobs at a time. I worked at probably every restaurant in Delco, and I liked it though. Like, cause I'm like a mover and a shaker, you know? So like, I like, but then it's like, of course, not something I wanted to do my whole life, but it is hard. But then you work, so you realize, I think I got to a point where I realized, damn, I'm a great worker. Like my work ethic is 100. Like, yeah. And then it's like, I'm sick of making this money for other people. And I feel like, my hour is worth more.
Exactly.
So, I mean, now that I work for myself, essentially, I could never, ever go back to working for anybody else, because my time, I realize how much I'm worth at this point.
Yeah. I completely agree with valuing your time, because we can value our time dramatically different. For like, I did the calculation of like, let's say you make 10K a month in real estate,
right?
Which is surely doable, right?
Absolutely.
And then the amount of hours, let's say just do 40 hours a week, right? I think it was like an average of like 100 to 200 an hour.
Yes. After my first year, I broke it down like that too. And I was like, how much am I making hourly? And blew my mind. I was like, this is insane. I'll never go back. I'll never go back.
Exactly.
No, but I can relate to, like, so my mom, like I said, was a single mom, and she worked all the time. That's all I knew. That's all I saw. Yeah. She was never around. Yeah. Like, it was always me by myself. For me, well, I wasn't by myself as a child, but obviously like with somebody else, because she couldn't be there. And I think like I missed that. Like so now that I'm an adult, being able to quote unquote own my own time, but I'm with my kids all the time. Yeah. And it's just so rewarding. Like, I know you haven't gotten to this stage in life, but
looking forward to it.
Yeah, you will see, like, just being able to the biggest thing for me is being able to read my kids a book before bed every night. Nice. Major. Like, still every night I'm so thankful for it, because my mom couldn't read me a book before bed. You know what I mean? Like, I would get home and she would write me notes. Like, we would write notes back and forth to each other. That's how we communicated. So I really just value being able to be there and create that life for them, you know? But thank you for sharing, a little, because I feel like it's so important to hear where people come from and why they are the way they are, and how, you know what I mean? Especially for children, because I like to work with kids. I like to help kids. And if I can show somebody in high school, or somebody who's struggling, or somebody who's coming from a single parent household or whatever, that actually you don't have to, like, doesn't have to be like that forever. That's all I want to do, So let's go back to your first year. What was your first year like? I know you said you didn't have your first settlement until about 6 months in, which is totally usual. But like, what was that first 6 months like? And how did you build your business? Like, where did your first couple transactions come from?
Before I answer that question, I wanted to finish off the last point for a lot of people who are listening, especially if they're thinking about getting in the business from other, careers like restaurants or any other jobs. The one thing I wanted to say was, when I got in the business of real estate, and comparing it to how hard I worked at restaurants, being up on my feet all day, and parents working 7 days a week, never seeing their kids. Yeah. I was like, this is nothing. Like, this is easy. And like, if you can just put in like half the effort that, our grandparents, our parents put in, and like, it's amazing. Like, your life can change, let alone being 100% in all the time. Like, I went full time. So this is a perfect segue to the question. Is like, my first year, like, I burned the boats, so to speak. Like, I I was 19. I was like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I go into this, it fails. I go back to college, or get a job, whatever, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, let me just give this like a year or two, right? And if it
Nothing
doesn't
to
work
lose,
out,
literally.
2021.
And you don't have a whole shit ton of college debt and everything, you know?
Absolutely. And I was a finance type of person. Like, I always watch my finances. Like, on my 18th birthday, I applied for a credit card. So I was always watching like my finances, and like, I hated debt. Like, I would never didn't know. I never incurred debt over a month. Like, I would always pay it off at the end of the month. Now, obviously, I understand some people can't do that. I don't do that always now.
Yeah. Well, most people get their credit card at 18 and then just screw
That's
themselves.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Most people being me, but you started off on the right foot.
Right. So my first year, I just went into full time, and I tried to. For the first 6 months, I didn't make any commission, so I tried to make sure that I didn't overspend. Because there's no income coming in anymore. I'm not working.
You can't go like buy leads. You gotta.
No, I was not that. No.
Yeah, you gotta make that stuff happen.
So I was working off, and I was door knocking for I wasn't sitting on my ass for the first 6 months, right? So the first 6 months, I was training, learning all the contracts, learning the steps and processes, cold calling. I was on like Mojo Dollar and all of that. I was, mind you, at 18, like, you're like scared shitless of like just people's judgment. Like, your self-image isn't like fully developed yet.
You really know who you are.
Exactly. And I remember my mentor telling me, the broker at the time, I still love to this day. Like, I talked to him, I owe a lot to him. Not the company, just him.
Yeah.
But he told me, like, you're 19 door knocking and cold calling. He told me, he's like, I don't know anyone that's doing that. And to me, at the time, I was like, yeah, right. He's lying. He's just trying to get like, my courage up, or flatter me. But I look back and I'm like, he was right.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was door knocking. Like, it was hot, raining, whatever. I was door knocking. I was door knocking, not by myself, at least. But I had an agent that was we went to the same high school, and Kenya, and he's at KW now. But hopefully he'll come to EXP one day.
Yeah.
But we were door knocking, and he found success in it. I didn't. And
doesn't work.
Maybe it's because I didn't do it enough. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I just think you definitely need to do it like consistently. And I did cold calling, I did door knocking, door hangers, all of the above, right? And then social media. And I did YouTube, I did Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
And what were you doing on that? Like, what were you doing on social media?
Sure. Yeah. So even before I got real estate, I was making finance videos on YouTube.
Okay.
It's like, here's the best credit card for you if you're 18, or here's, stock market returns for, index funds and stuff like that. And I still trade stocks to this day. But coming off of that background, or like interest, I continue to make real estate videos on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So
basically educating people.
Exactly. Just because I got educated through YouTube on finance. So I wanted to kind of give back to anybody that wanted to watch. Right. So my first year, first 6 months, quiet. Next 6 months, it started to pick up, closed my first deal. And then the second deal came. It was a cash deal. So I would say I'm pretty, like, my first 2 or 3 deals were pretty smooth. Like, some people have really bad luck for the first couple deals. So like, it's a nightmare. Like I hate this job. And then I'm like, I'm enjoying this. I'm like, this is amazing. Cash deal. And the first deal was like, it was multiple offers, but we beat them using the escalation clause. And, they closed, and, first few commission checks were amazing. Yeah. And because it obviously, for like debt, or like just having nothing for 6 months, and then you finally make up. Like, that was the biggest check that I ever seen to that date. Like, my biggest check probably before that was probably like $800-900, maybe $1,000 max, right? And the C1, even after a like major splits and commit fees, it was like $3,000 something dollars.
And it just, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I see my first check, I was like, oh man.
Big yours was, but at 19 years old, like making like no money, and you're now getting like a $3,000 check. that was,
I mean, when you think about it, it is huge, but when you think about it too, there's so much and so much time and so much that goes into it until you get to that. So it's, but yeah, it's major and it's eye opening.
yeah, yeah.
So you said your first few deals were super smooth and everything. So can you recall either the most craziest or most rewarding, wild, hardest? What's one of those deals that just sticks out in your head?
One did we talk about?
Yeah, I don't. There's so many. They're all so different.
Some therapy worthy sessions deals. I tell a lot of my new agents this that I train. I was like, some deals, some clients you will face and you will want to work with and need to work with, but are not worth working with.
Yes,
it's not worth the therapy session.
Yeah,
like the amount of money you're gonna pay through your therapy.
Yes,
session after that is not worth it. And there are deals like that.
Yeah, there are
where clients are just mentally abusing or agents that are just rude. I think one of the worst deals I've had was one of my biggest deals to that date. To before that, I had never closed a deal like around $500,000.
Wow.
And it was, I think, my first or second year. Not second year. I was like, I was representing the buyer, and my buyer went into it with the approval from a lender that he wanted to work with.
Red flag.
Yes, right. Well, it was. This is leading up to it. Yeah, red flag. Looking back, but the lender gives a conventional pre-approval and ends up we get under contract. Great. Yeah. Buyer doesn't want to do inspection. I asked him. I was like, "Do you want to do inspection?" And he's like, "How much is the inspection?" I was like, "Well, for property size, it can be anywhere between this price and this price." And he wants to save it. Inspections can be anywhere around $600, $700, $800, $900, right? Yeah. But worth it. Like peace of mind, and to even potentially be able to
save you maybe thousands of run. Yeah.
And he doesn't do it. And well, let's save that detail. But let's get back to the mortgage situation. He finds out like there's issues with blah 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 blah. He has to get a whole nother co-signer situation from an uncle who makes higher income. So we're doing that and having to change the loan. He wants to change the loan to FHA now with that lender that he likes. Right. And from conventional, FHA is a completely different loan, especially for a seller, right? And the seller, do we want to name people because he's a pretty important person in the real estate community.
Really? Don't put his now. Don't put his.
But I'll say,
tell me when we're all recording.
Okay, yeah.
Because I do.
So this is a pretty significant person that was the seller was the owner of a company. Okay, let's just say that owner of a brokerage, pretty big brokerage.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm emailing, and I'm a pretty, let's say, not new agent, but like I didn't understand at the time that the price isn't changing. It's just the loan term. So for me back then, it was like, it's a big deal from conventional to FHA, right? So I'm like, hey, my buyers would prefer to change it to FHA because they're going to save a lot on interest rate, and monthly payments are going to be lower. And then I get a call. I get a call from the agent, and agent / seller, because
he owns the property.
He owns it.
Yeah.
And he's cursing me the fuck out. And I'm like, this is not even my decision. Like, I'm like, who wants to do it? I'm like, yeah, but he's like, oh, well, who's the lender? Blah, blah, like, blah, blah. And then, like, I'm getting blamed for not obviously explaining to him that you can't just do that, which I get it. He's right. But the way that was conveyed was not necessary.
It doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah. I was like, you could have just told me, oh, that's not possible. We're not going to, be able to.
You know how easy it is to just talk to people through, like,
even if it's a big deal, it's just like, if you say, no, we're not going to do that for you. You could just say, hey, that's not going to work for us. If you decide to change, we're going to back out. I get it. Okay, fine. We're not going to do it. But the way this was conveyed was like 10 minutes of mental abuse. Yeah. Right. And he doesn't know I'm 20. Right. This is a guy that's maybe 67 years old. Right.
I can't wait until we talk about who it is. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't pity myself. I think maybe I even deserved it. And I'm glad that happened because it makes me realize that I'm a nice guy. I'm a customer service. I like to get along with agents when I'm working with them. And just that just didn't happen. I realized, well, people are shitty. There's agents that don't communicate, don't want to solve problems. And like the way he's communicating is like he doesn't want the deal to happen anymore. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. We can just, if you don't want it, tell him that you don't want that to happen. If he still wants the house, he'll stick with the loan he has.
Yeah.
Right. I end up having to jump through hoops, firing that lender, hiring another lender, saving the deal within like 2 to 3 weeks.
Why did you have to fire the lender though? Because
I don't remember the specific details.
Did the seller not want that lender or something? Or
the seller had a problem with the lender now. The buyer had a problem with the lender now. I had a problem with the lender now.
Yeah.
So because the lender like was the one that's pushing to change the FHA,
mm-hmm.
and not me first.
Sometimes lenders too, and I've learned that like they will. He may have made a mistake qualifying that client, and
yes, that was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like not. It was like,
but they won't ever admit, like most of them won't admit it,
absolutely.
Which makes it 10 times harder for you to do your job and then communicate to the other agent who he's already got to stick up his ass. So
it's easy before you get under contract to be like, oh, our loan changed. But no, we're under contract.
It should be easy when you are under contract under the right circumstances.
Yes.
Well,
it should be easy to communicate at the very least.
Absolutely.
Right? Yes or no,
mm-hmm.
Sure or no, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, that was a whole shenanigans.
This is you up too. If you're a new agent, you're young, you're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that reaction.
This is a $10K commission check. Right? The first $10K commission check.
Yeah.
That I got.
And you had to work for that.
Yeah. And I closed it. And guess what? I ended up selling that house.
Did you?
So like a year later, he ended up having me move in. I sold it.
Right. That's funny because so yesterday I had the communication thing with agents. It makes or break the whole, it can make or break the whole thing. Yesterday I had a final walkthrough at one of my listings and I'm working with, the co-op, the buyer's agent. She's great. The communication is just how it should be. We're talking like normal people. We both have the same end game in mind, right? She goes for a final walkthrough and like there was capping on the roof, on the back part of the roof that was not sealed properly. And it rained a lot a few days ago. And all the rain got inside that capping. The whole wall on the inside was like crumbling, right. Like the wall between the dining room and the kitchen, like crumbling. Now, we just worked together, like from that moment till now to make it settle today. And we figured everything out. But if it would have been that guy that I called.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? If that guy... The guy that was on the other side of your transaction, if he was on the other side of this transaction, we wouldn't have settled today. We wouldn't have been able to communicate properly to figure it out so that where both clients are happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that can definitely make or break anything.
I want to end that story on a positive note is that we closed that deal and I shook his hand.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I didn't say a pleasure working with you. Obviously, I just said, nice to meet you. Blah, blah. We closed the deal, had a title company. Close the deal. And there's a lot of hiccups and this and that. And I don't even go into the post-closing issues because that was a part of the stress, but I don't think it's worth mentioning, like in terms of like property conditions. But, we closed the deal and
you were professional about it.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, how do I want to ask this? So what do you think, what kind of things do you think make a successful real estate agent, or what qualities maybe separate the top agents from those who are struggling? That's like a two-part.
That's a great question. I think the number one thing that I can think of immediately off the top of my head is willingness to do something that is like other people have proven it, that it works in this business, whether it's cold calling, door knocking, making videos, following up with people. Doing it consistently every single day or every scheduled day and not seeing results for a long ass time. Like if you're door knocking and you don't see any progress within the first week, okay, cool. You do it again next week. Okay. For the first month, now you're a little like, what am I doing? Right. And then 3 months later, are you still door knocking with no, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no leads, no seller,
no instant gratification. Right. Yeah.
And are you gonna still on the 3 month day and 1 day after, are you still gonna be door knocking? And I think that's where a lot of agents drop off.
75% of them in the first year, to be exact.
Exactly. And the rest either get lucky or they stick through it. They stick through it, and I think that's what I see myself and other agents being different.
Yeah.
I think that's just the number one thing that I can think of. Obviously, there's other nuances.
Well, I mean, I feel like, so especially, all right, so I got licensed in 2019. Had a, decent first year. Second year was COVID. Boom. Home went crazy. Everything was crazy. Everything was completely different. And, but the market was just moving. Like I was 2020, 2021, they were great years for me. And I think for a lot of agents, because that was the market. And I think a lot of the newer agents, what I'm noticing in the past couple years who have gotten licensed, they get into it and they think that it's easy because maybe we all been making it look easy. The market, the state of the market's been making it look easy, but people just think they're getting into it and they're just somebody's gonna call and be like, "You got a real estate?"
No, yeah.
And I don't mean to laugh, but it's like, yes, if you have to be able to work every single day.
Yeah.
Every day. You're building a business, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. You're building it from the ground up. You are. Nobody else is going to do it for you.
Yes.
And if you're not working every day, you're not going to get the results that you want.
Exactly.
And can't tell you how many times I wanted to quit that first 6 months, that first year, because I'm like, this is insanity. Like, because I try, and that's another thing. You have to try everything. Because not everybody's going to build their business the same way. Not everything's going to work for everybody. So, like, I did try everything. I tried door knocking. I hated it. I did it. I'm going to admit, I was not consistent with it because I was like, no, it's not for me. If somebody knocks at my door, I'm going to cuss them out. Like, so I don't want somebody to cuss me out. Same thing with cold calling. It's not for me. That's just me. Social media ended up being my thing in the way that I built my business. Literally 90% of my business, at least the first 3 years, was straight social media.
And even that, like that takes consistency as well. You can't make one video and expect one client.
Oh, I was on it every day. Do you know how many of my family members and friends deleted me or put me on silent?
Yeah. Absolutely.
People that don't use social media as a business tool look at it like you're annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you on my feed all day? But they don't understand it as a business tool. Absolutely. It's literally a free way to build your business. And you have to get in front of people over and over and over again before they even remember you.
And I think that's why people are afraid to make videos, because they're afraid of that happening.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to get likes. You're not going to get shares.
They're not going to pay your bills.
But they know. They see you, though.
Yeah. Like, those people are blocking you. They're not going to pay your bills. So why do you care about what their opinion is?
No.
And there's people that do love you and love your content that you're making about, real estate, about things you do on your free time, not just real estate.
And those are your people. And those are the people that you work with.
It's about chickens. I'm a chicken guy.
Are you?
I grew up on a farm.
You know what? You're going to have to teach me a few things because my poor chickens, they hate me.
I had plenty of chickens. Like, I was the kid, my one job every morning when I was literally on the farm was first thing in the morning, I grab chicken food, and I call all the chickens.
Yeah?
Yeah. We
only have 3 right now. We're going to get some more this year. We started with 4, and rest in peace, a hook got one of them. It was so traumatizing. And I was like,
did you dog? Oh, yeah. All right. So a dog.
I do, but the chickens we have 2 acres. So our chickens are in the front of our property and our dogs stay in the back of our property. Wow. I have heard that getting owl statues and stuff around so we have some stuff to do. We did end up putting a good solid roof on there, obviously, after that incident, but that was traumatizing. And I was like, no more chickens per minute. I need a second. Yeah. But no, I love it. And it's such a different way of raising my kids. It's just, I love it. And I want to get some goats and I want to get some cows and stuff. So eventually.
Well, talk about that. Because I want to definitely eventually get out of the city and land.
Yeah.
Thinking Texas.
Texas. Why there? Do you have family there?
I have a few family, but mainly just because the climate. I'm Vietnam's travel.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you grow so many different things. Mangoes, all that, all above, right? Yeah. And I just don't I'm not used to Philly. I'm just
I mean, well, you now I feel like you're you're a city guy.
Yeah. I love the city. I'm always gonna have a house or a property here and work here and have an office here eventually.
But being able to step away and have a simpler life.
Yes, being able to let's say travel for work, have a property. I can build out another office in wherever I decide to, right?
Absolutely.
One thing I want to do before that is to build out the business in Philly and Pennsylvania, maybe New Jersey, enough where it sustains itself without hire out people. And one step at a time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that part, because we were saying before we even started recording, like nobody is like us. Like nobody can quite do it like we can, we feel, at least. I mean, but that's why we are where we are. And being able to find the right help and the right people to help you get your business where you want it to be, and so it can begin to run itself. I get like, yeah, that's definitely a process, and it's a hard one.
Yeah.
And it's a learning process. But no, I love it. So let me think. How do you think, and we're going to end it after, I think, because I got a lot of good information out of here. I got a lot of good information. How do you think we could maybe, because I said earlier in the episode that I think that the bar is set too low to get into real estate, because really all you have to do, and like you said, and you get in, it's like you got nothing to lose. You got like what, $600 or something on the course to lose. If it don't work out, it don't work out. I mean, you have to pay for other things after that, but it's like, so I asked Fallon this when she was on, how do we raise the bar for professionalism and success in the industry? So, because I feel like, part of the reason why I started trying to train people and help people, mentor people, because I want the industry to be better for the consumers, for me too. I want my job to be easier when I have another agent to work with. I want to be able to negotiate and them not think that we're arguing. Like,
Right.
This isn't personal.
Yeah.
So I mean, just, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think that?
It's a really, really tough question to answer. Because if there was an easy solution, it'd be implemented already, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just from the working side of things, like us, selling every day and seeing good and bad agents, like some things that I wish would have, be implemented would be like a qualification interviewing process of someone joining a company, instead of just everybody gets to join, like feeling, like it's like when you go to a job, the interviewer will ask you questions just to see how you answer it, not just what you say.
Yeah.
Like the way you speak,
That's such a good point.
communication skills, how empathy, how do you see your goals? How do you see yourself? Are you a narcissist? Are you someone that is, has empathy, has, a good skill for wanting to help people and not just here for money?
Yeah.
Like it's a sales business, yes, but can we make it more like human of who the person is, and less of just let's sell these houses and make money?
Well, like you said, some type of interview process. That's honestly a good point. I don't think I have thought of before. Like, the brokerages themselves should set higher standards.
They don't.
Because what it is from a brokerage, and if you're a new agent, it's like, well, when I was a new agent, I was like, all right, how am I going to get an interview? Like, how am I going to get into the brokerage?
Yes, yeah.
Right. And then you realize it's like, wait, they all want me.
Yeah.
They all want me. It's a numbers game. And you can get into any brokerage you want to. It doesn't pick one.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game, and you're nothing but a number to most of them, honestly.
Yeah.
But that I think is definitely part of where something needs to be implemented. Because I remember I think it's called a KPA test. Do you know that test? It's like a personality test or something, and
Sure.
it
Yeah.
get like colors, green, red, yellow. I like even something like that, some kind of interview process or testing or something to figure out who you are as a person and what your goals and what your intentions are and what you might be good at before just letting you into the brokerage.
Yeah.
That's definitely a really good point.
I think there should be a standard for the company that hires and obviously the agent. And I think every deal that's closed should have a review of the company and the agent. Because if the company takes more responsibility for their agent's actions, maybe they wouldn't hire shitty agents.
Hey, now that's the point.
Because
how many brokers I've called because I'm sick of the agent I'm dealing with.
Exactly.
I'm calling their broker, and the broker's like, either they don't answer or they don't,
right.
Or they're just like, all right, like, what do you want me to do?
Right.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
What they're supposed to be doing here. Yeah. No, that's a great point.
I'm not asking for punishments. I'm just asking for
accountability
and improvement. Like you can improve as a human being, as an agent. So if someone gives you a bad review of your company, of your agents under the company, then improve them. Yeah. Train them. Not as just contract, but as like, hey, here's how you should speak to them.
Yeah. I can think of a certain brokerage. I'm not going to say it's a small brokerage, and I've dealt with, a handful of their agents. And every time I get another agent from this brokerage, I'm just like, please be normal. Like, it's always a nightmare. And I'm just like, what are you teaching these agents? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm going to out someone just because I'm Asian.
Okay.
And I'm going to get to say this.
Okay.
I don't know if this is politically correct to be able to say it, but
I get to say it on.
Working with Asian brokerages.
Really?
On the other side.
Why? What do you notice that's different?
Not only do they not know their contracts, which is bare minimum.
Yeah, literally.
But communication is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about people, it's my own people, but they have really hard accents.
Yeah.
And I question how they passed the real estate test, exam test. And like, I don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
If you can't understand them, exactly. Who else is understanding them?
And then like, I read the review for the brokerage on like Google or whatever, and it's like, oh, horrible. They have like a 2-star. And I'm like, how are they still even open? Like,
because like you said earlier, before we were on the podcast, it's that culture thing. I think like all of their clients are Asian, and that's what they're used to. And a lot of them don't know any better. They don't know if the contracts are right. They don't really know or care what their agent is probably saying. You're getting it, you know? But no, that is definitely a thing.
Like you say, the bar to becoming an agent is low. I think the bar to start a company is probably even the same amount of low on that scale.
Yeah, like for sure.
Just open up
all these willy-nilly brokerages. Yeah.
I get big companies, okay, they need to up their standard as well. And not play the numbers game, but small brokerages do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
With no training like systems.
Yeah.
They're just,
I think that we just continue to do what we're doing here, which is speaking the truth, educating the consumer, doing the best that we can, and we're mentoring and we're helping other agents be the right type of agent. Like, you know, so I mean that's all we can do, I think, right now. Well, all right. I think this was a great episode. We could probably we'll do another one. I feel like there's a lot more stuff we can talk about. Do you have any final thoughts? And tell us where listeners can find you and connect with you.
Yeah, I guess leave it off. I mean, it was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me again. Love to come back. And everyone who's thinking about getting into real estate or already in the business struggling, I think I just want to say stick with it. Put your clients first. Put other people first. It's a people business.
Yeah.
I didn't say that the whole podcast, but this business is less about real estate, more about houses. Or I'm sorry, less about real estate and houses and more about people.
Yes.
And yeah, if you just focus on people, things will fall in place. And if anyone wants to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's just Smay Son on YouTube.
Okay, just one word, Smay Son.
Or Smay and then Son, first and last name, anywhere. Instagram, Facebook.
Same hands.
Same everything.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Smay. It was lovely having you, and I can't wait until our next episode. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Real Talk Realtor Mama Edition. I hope you found a little inspiration, some fresh ideas, and maybe even had a few laughs along the way. If today's episode resonated with you at all, please subscribe, leave a review, and feel free to share it with someone who might need a little real talk in their life. Follow me on social media. My handle is the same everywhere at Realtor Mama. It's MAMA. Remember, we're all in this together, learning, growing, and finding our way one day at a time. Until next time, keep showing up, keep being real, and keep chasing your dreams. This is Samantha signing off with gratitude and love. See you next time on Real Talk Realtor Mama Edition.